Hello, boys and girls. We are starting topic 15, and believe it or not, it is our last topic of the year. Um, so we can kind of be excited about that. We will be starting review after this topic, but hopefully, this topic will start us into our review a little. Topic 15 isn't really a lot of new material. It's using a lot of the things we've learned throughout the year to apply them to word problems and applying them to kind of real life kind of word problems. So our first lesson that we're starting out with is lesson 1, and we're going to be talking about area and perimeter. Our area and perimeter hopefully is a little bit of a review for you. Um, and if not, we can always make sure we refresh the memory and make sure you understand it. So let's start with our perimeter that I circled in purple there. It's the distance around a figure or shape. So we have this park here. So if I wanted to know the perimeter, I would walk all the way around the outside of this park, and that would be my perimeter. It's the distance it took me to go around something, the perimeter of something. The perimeter formula is right here, okay? Here's a length, here's a length, here's a width, here's a width. Perimeter is equal to 2 times the length, because I have 2 lengths, plus 2 times the width, because I have 2 widths. The perimeter formula that you might be used to is length plus width plus width. I'm not going to say which one you need to use. The one I'm going to use the most is going to be the second one because that's the one you'll see most often, but either one you're more comfortable with using is the one I'm going to tell you to use. Then we have our area. Okay, here's our area right here. Our area is everything that the perimeter creates on the inside that I'm shading right now. So when I'm asking for the area, I'm asking you to find the distance in something that the perimeter has created. And our area formula is a little bit simpler. All we need to do is take our area and we do our length times our width, and it'll give us that distance in that shape. So we're going to take a look on the next couple slides. The first slide, we're going to focus on area, and the second slide, we're going to focus on perimeter. However, I'm not going to ask you just to straight out find the area of something or the perimeter of something. We are going to use these formulas to see how you can find missing pieces of information, even if we give you the area first or give you the perimeter first. So that is kind of what you need to be able to do in fourth grade is go beyond just knowing how to find area and perimeter, but how to use these formulas to find those missing pieces of information. So let's go on to our first slide here. We have a certain can of paint will cover 225 square feet of wall. So we're going to focus on part A here. They want to know what is the maximum whole number length in feet of an 8-foot high wall that can be covered with that can of paint. So down here, this rectangle is our wall. They told us that this whole wall is 225 square feet, or I can also write it as feet squared. That's how we refer to area. And they're saying that it's already 8 feet high or wide, so there's our width. I do not know our length, and that's what they want us to find. So I'm going to suggest this. Write out your formula. From the previous slide, area equals length times width. All you need to do to start is plug in the information you do have. Well, we know our area is 225. We don't know our length, and we know our width is 8 feet. So now I'm looking, well, 8 times length is going to give me 225. Well, the opposite of multiplication is division. So I would take my 225 and divide by 8. And this is where we're going to need to remember, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Okay. Well, I say 8 can't go into 2, but it can go into 22 right over here. And it can go in twice. 8 times 2 is 16. 22 minus 16 is 6. I bring down my 5. 8 can go into 65 8 times, because 8 times 8 is 64. When I subtract, I get 1 left over. But I'm going to just focus on the whole number. I don't want to say forget about the remainder, but we don't need the remainder in this case. So that means that our length is going to be equal to 28 feet. Okay, so this side is 28 feet. So that can of paint could cover a wall that would be 8 feet high and 28 feet wide or length or long. So that is how you can find the same thing. If we would have given you the 28 feet, you could have used that with the 225 to find the 8 feet. Okay. All right, let's take a look at a perimeter problem now. So now we're going to focus on part B of our We're going to focus on part B. My pen wasn't working there for a minute. We're going to focus on part B of our problem now. It says if tape were placed around the sides of the wall. So if you notice, we have our 28 feet that we found on the previous slide and our 8 feet. But now what this problem is asking is if I took tape, because I want to tape off when I paint so I don't make a mess. I wanted to tape off the entire outside of this wall. They want to know how much tape you would need to go all the way around there. All right, we know that this wall, remember, I'm going to put it here, is 225 square feet, okay? Let's recall our perimeter. Our perimeter, and I'm going to use the shortcut formula, is 2 times the length, because really if that side is 28, this side is 28. They're equal. If this side is 8, then this side is 8. So I have 2 of each measurement. So I have 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And here's my length and here's my width. So I'm going to find my perimeter by just plugging in now. I have 2 times the length, which is 28. So I have 2 times 28 plus my 2 times the width, which is 8. I'm going to start with the 2 times 8 because I know that that is 16. When you have something like 28 times 2, I still to this day don't want you doing that in your head. I would like you to come off to the side and do that work. So 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So we get 56. Okay. We're still working with perimeter. Okay. So then I would come over and take my 56 and add it to 16. 6 plus 6 is 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. So the entire perimeter would be 72 feet. Okay, so I would need 72 feet of tape to tape off the outside or the perimeter of that wall. So what we're going to be focusing on for this lesson is not so much, like I said at the beginning, just finding area and perimeter, and we will have some of those problems just to help you keep practicing using these formulas. But a lot of your problems in 4th grade are going to be looking at your area and perimeter and seeing how you can use those 2 formulas to find missing pieces of information to answer questions. All right, boys and girls. So your practice problem will ask you to do one of each of these tonight, and then tomorrow we'll do lots of practice in class and answer any questions and make sure you're comfortable with doing this. All right, thank you, boys and girls.